Hi everyone. In this session, we will discuss about perceptron as a pattern classifier. So here, what the perceptron will do is, it will simply separate the input into two categories. Those were nothing but those that cause fire and those that does not cause fire. Okay, the perceptron will simply separate the input into two categories: the neurons that cause fire and that does not cause fire. Okay, so actually we have discussed in the earlier classes that, suppose for example, if you go to a restaurant, so the waiter will give you the menu, and in that menu there will be number of items, out of which we have to select two or three items. So your brain will suggest you what items to select. So finally you will select those items only. Means your neurons internally, when you see the menu, number of items will strike in our mind, yes or no? 5 to 10 items will strike in our mind, out of which you will order 2 to 3. Only the neurons which reaches the threshold value, only those neurons will be fired. So internally we will have the threshold value. So the neurons which reaches or which crosses the threshold value, only those neurons will fire, only those neurons will be activated. Okay, all the other neurons will be in inactive state, they will not fire. Okay, similarly here also the same. Similarly, if you go to shopping, suppose if you go for shopping, so for example, if you go to a shopping and you want to buy two shirts, you will see number of shirts, and out of which you will keep 5 or 6 shirts. Finally you will select 5 or 6. Out of those 5 or 6, finally you have to pick two. So in that situation, what you will do is, your neurons will fire, your neurons will fire, your neurons will select. Okay, so whatever the shirts your neurons will select, the neurons which selects, so different neurons will select different shirts, out of which the neurons which reaches the threshold value, those neurons will be fired, and automatically you will select those two out of the 6. Okay, so here also the same. So here the perceptron is simply, it is going to separate the input into two categories, like those that fire and those that don't fire. Okay, so it can be represented as x1w1 plus x2w2 is less than t, where t is the threshold value. See, so x1 and x2 are the inputs, and w1 w2 are the corresponding synaptic weights. So if we multiply, if we calculate the summation like x1w1 plus x2w2, if that value is greater than t, if that value is greater than t, then automatically the neuron will fire. It will be in activate state, it will be in active state, or it will be activated. Suppose if the value is less than the threshold value, then that neuron will be in inactive state, it will not fire. That's what the author is telling. If the LHS is less than the threshold value, then it will not fire, otherwise it will fire. So for this, now we are drawing a simple line like x1w1 plus x2w2 equal to t. Okay, we are representing it with a line like x1w1 plus x2w2 equal to t. Okay, so right, so here if the LHS value x1w1 plus x2w2 is greater than this threshold value, okay, then they will come under one side, they will fall under one side. And if these values x1w1 plus x2w2 is less than the threshold value, and it will lie on the other side. Okay, that's what the author is telling. So it was represented, we can represent it with an example. Okay, you can represent it with an example. If you see the example, so here what the author is telling, see, w1 is 1, w2 is 1, whereas threshold value is 0.5. So here we are drawing the line like we have just seen the formula x1w1 plus x2w2 equal to t, where t equal to 0.5. So here let us suppose we have different inputs like 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So if you see here, so if you observe, for example, see, here we are performing OR operation. Okay, see, if you see 0 1, if you substitute, if you take 0, 0, comma 1 are the inputs x1, x2. So x1 is 0, x2 is 1, where w1, w2 are 1 and 1. So x1 is 0, 0 into 1 plus 1 into 1, we will get 1. So 1 is greater than the threshold value 0.5. So it is at one side. So 0, 1 is here. Okay. And if you take 1 comma 1, so 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1. So we will get 1 plus 1, 2. 2 is greater than 0.5. So thereby 1 comma 1 is also lying in the same side, right side. See, previously we have calculated 0, 1, now 1, 1. Next we will calculate 1 comma 0. So if you calculate 1 comma 0, so 1 into 1 plus 0 into 1. So we will get 1. So 1 is greater than the threshold value t. So it is also lying in the right side only. If you take 0, 0, 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1, it is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. So 0 is less than 0.5, that is threshold value. So it is lying in the LHS side. So see, here we have drawn a straight line which is separating 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1 to 0, 0 means, so it is separating the values which are above the threshold value and the values below the threshold value is separated with a straight line. Means we are separating the values which fires and which does not fire. Okay, this is what we have discussed, right? So this is what the author is telling. Okay, so see, it is very clear that, so what the author is telling is we call this as linearly separable. Okay, this concept we call it as linearly separable, means we are separating the two classes with a straight line. Suppose if you take in a classroom, girls will sit one side and boys will sit in the other side. So we are able to draw a line separating the girls class and boys class. If we draw a line separating the girls class and boys class, then we say that it is linearly separable. Suppose if you consider in a bus or in a bus, the male and female may sit side by side. So in that situation, they cannot, the males and females or the boys and girls cannot be separated with a straight line. So that's why those were the examples for non-linearly separable. Okay, right? So see here, the linearly separable is not possible in all the cases. That's what the author is telling. Okay. If two input dimensions, if we draw one dimensional line in n dimensions, we will draw n minus 1 dimensional hyperplane. That's what the author is telling, like x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus x3 w3 plus and so on to xn wn equal to t. So by using this notation, we will represent it, right? So with this, we will wind up the session regarding the perceptron as a pattern classifier, right? Thank you.